it up. I have to make it up for my jacket. I actually have to make two of them eventually, one for the summer jacket. But here's the dilemma. So today I got up pretty early. I got a job I want to do before I go out on the open road. Yesterday I got to shoot some footage with the two new GoPros that Najat had given us, donated to our cause. Thank you again, Najat. And the footage, when I played it on a downstairs monitor, which is a big screen monitor, I think it's 40 inches, 42, whatever it is, I couldn't really super tell the difference between the two. But I did a real test. I made them into YouTube videos and then went upstairs and watched it on my big screen, the 65-inch monitor. You can clearly see the quality, I guess is the best word for it, is a little bit better on the GoPro. But the sound is terrible. Now, the sound being terrible is because the mount here is picking up like an echo chamber of engine noise. Now, this bike has a big air scoop, I guess is the best way you can put it, a big hollow spot here that makes it even worse. Bikes like the GS where it's all closed in the front, not so bad. But anyway, that's a whole different issue we're going to deal with. The way we're going to try to deal with it is we're going to try to get a remote mic for the GoPro 3. Now, I've seen them advertised and they look just like the ones that are in the SJ Cam, but I don't know if it's appropriate. I got to find out. I got to ask somebody that knows, and I'm going to try to talk to Najat about it, if that's a good way to do it or if it's even possible. Or I can do the other thing today, if time permits. I can take and shoot some footage. I'm going to make a chest mount today. I can make the chest mount, and I know the cameras are not exactly interchangeable. They're close, but no cigar. Because when you mount the GoPro into the let's call it the rip-off Chinese cameras, it vibrates. And I've got to figure out a little bit better way of doing it. I also want to make sure I don't have a thing where the camera's vibrating and it's loose and I don't get a real test. So today is going to be a good day. I hope I'm going to learn something. I hope I'm going to be able to share something. And now that I have the ability, I have two GoPros. At some point in time, we may go back to having one in the front, one in the back. And we did a lot of cool stuff years ago when I was mounting cameras by the chain and everything in my youthful days. But unfortunately, I'm getting long in the tooth. Now, unfortunately, I'm still waiting for my wire to turn off the... it's probably not even coming from China. It's coming from Mars or something. But anyway, when you buy these things, you always got to be aware. Some people get them, and I must be on the lucky list. They had to send to Beijing to get it for me. The other project we're going to be working on soon, the Jiffy bag, and I'm going to convert all of this in, because what's happened, our magnets from this thing being old, you can see they're wearing through at the corners, and I just didn't want to have a problem that they were going to scratch the paint. The paint on this bike is, you cannot even feel that. And I do have that clear plastic stuff, but I'm still afraid. I don't want to damage that tank at all. And we need a dedicated day. I need the magnets out of that bag to make what I hope is going to be my little cowl pieces here. And I started the first one, but I don't know if I'm going to be happy with it till I ride the bike a few times. And I don't even know if those magnets are going to work. So before I do anything, I want to get downstairs and I want to convert and see if I can take the jacket, the mount that's on the jacket, and convert it so it'll hold the GoPro. And I can get I think a better test of the sound, and maybe even get a comparison on it, and maybe even see if that SJ Cam mic is interchangeable. I guess we're going to find out. Maybe we're going to find out the hard way too. And of course, because of COVID, here it is. It's exactly a month old. I've had the bike a month. I don't have a plate. I don't have a title. I don't have a registration. Luckily, I got the bike. And just for fun, I've been checking the average miles a gallon. We got a lot of miles here, and it was 48. It's gone down to 47. And in the first month we've owned the bike, we got 2,000 635 miles on it. And the check engine light is still on. Unbelievable. That's an average for a month. 12 times that, I have 50,000 miles by the end of the year. And my only concern with the tires, they are the grippy, beautiful in every way. There's nothing wrong with the tires, except the fact I have a feeling they're not going to last as long as I would be happy with. And I don't know if I'm going to, I can peel pieces of the tire up with my finger. Just, to show that on macro lens, people that don't know, that doesn't usually mean you're going to get a really long tire life. But you know what I think? And this is my honest to God opinion. I might just put another Dunlop on there. I'm just so happy the way this thing handles exactly the way it is. Now yesterday, Najat donated a whole ton of GoPro mounts, cameras, batteries, chargers, whatever. But the one thing, there's one thing that was not in that box, and I have to make it up. I have to make it up for my jacket. I actually have to make two of them eventually, one for the summer jacket. But here's the dilemma. When you have, this is the mount that works on the knockoff cameras, the cheap ones. When you go to put this one in with the spare battery, it's way too big. When you put it in without the spare battery, it's loose as a goose. So you probably could wrap rubber bands around it or something, I don't know. But I thought a better choice would be, since I have plenty of mounts, I have plenty of these spare guys, I was going to make one right from scratch that had the right amount of, this one is still, if you can see what happens, it's just, I'd have to make a spacer for the back. I'm not sure how that would work. I'm not sure it would work at all. But I do have enough that I can take one and make and in fact, this one I've already put spacers in the back. They're still, no matter what you do, they're still loose. Now I don't know, because I did not anticipate, let me get this, using the spare battery here. Let me try this. By the way, the footage that we shot yesterday, the footage is beautiful, the sound is not, because the sound on the bar mount picks up all the mechanical, the noise that I don't want to hear. I want to hear the exhaust noise. The way I do that with the other camera is I have a remote mic. This camera, I'm not sure you can use a remote mic with. We're certainly going to find out sooner or later. But for right now, I just want to see if I can make this work and come up with some combination of things that I can. Basically, I want to have at least 2 bolts holding it to the jacket. I have the carbon fiber plate that I've used in the past. I know that works. So what I'm really looking to do is just make one that fits, unique to the GoPro, because the camera footage is better. I can get the sound better once I actually get this away from where the motor, it's picking up that noise right from the handlebar mount. So what I was able to do with the old mount is just grind enough of it away that it fit into the new one. Now the only problem, there's a problem with this. When the GoPro goes into this mount and it's not a tight fit, you have to pick up on that. What I think I can do is make a little shim of Gorilla Tape, a couple layers of Gorilla Tape that'll take that sloppiness out. Because that sloppiness is only going to be, you're going to have some resonant vibration in there. And when it's on, what happens when you mount it to your jacket, you become the rubber biscuit that isolates the vibration. So that's why, one of the reasons they pick up I'm not sure it's picking up the sound from a different location or what, but I'm going to have to do some research on the internet, find out if I can get a remote mic for this camera, and this will be ready to put back on the jacket. And relatively simple thing. It's just going to be to make a shim for that. We can still get at all the buttons. I think we're good to go. So after a lot of give and take, I put layers of duct tape and Gorilla Tape in the back of this, and that tightened it up. And I wanted to have a safety, some kind of safety. I'm trying to think of it. In the meantime, these are just hair rubber bands, because I'm just paranoid that these things jump off the bike when you hit a bump or something. Probably not, but I guess there's other ways I could do it. But see, if if I put the strap I had, the safety strap on the other one, it covers up the light that tells you the camera's on. Because again, these are very different than the one it's replacing. So we've got to kind of have a little different thing. I guess another thing I could do here is just run a piece of safety wire. I'm not sure. Anyway, we're going to try this. It's a very simple thing. See how this works. It probably is going to work just fine. And now I just have to mount this to the two holes that are in a jacket. And this plate in the back, the carbon fiber plate. And these keep it from, hopefully, jumping up and down when you hit a bump. They minimize it anyway. And that took, believe it or not, you don't think this took a long time to get this, that I was happy with it. I probably made 20 of those things that are in a dumpster over there before I got one that I was happy that the camera wasn't doing this, or in the worst of the world, doing this. So it's a little more involved than it looks like, but I hope this is some good ideas for people that haven't done this before. Well, that worked out about as good as I could ever have expected. And in fact, what I decided, I'm just going to put a little piece of Gorilla Tape on the bottom here. It'll let me see the buttons and all the things a little bit easier. And now all we need to do is get out on the open road and give it a test. I think the sound is going to be a lot better from in this mount. Okay, time to go have coffee. Feed the fish, feed the birds, do everything we got to do to keep the farm in action. Pick some flowers for Karen. And get out on the open road. It is really brisk this morning. Whoa. It is nice and clear skies, but it is brisk. Now we'll see how this jacket mount works. So the way I did this test, I shot the first half of the video with no extra mic. Then about halfway through the video, I put the remote mic on. And I wanted to see if I could tell the difference. Now I was unable to tell on my monitor down by the computer. And I didn't see any gain or loss by having a remote mic. And because the exhaust is relatively quiet, it mutes a lot of noise. A really quiet exhaust lets a lot of the mechanical noise come through. But the thing is, in real life, when you're riding the motorcycle, it sounds really nice. And it's very stealth. You don't disturb anybody when you go by. And sometimes it's so quiet that people even wave to you that are walking dogs. And I've gotten used to it being a stealth motorcycle. I really like it. And you can really ride a nice pace that's comfortable and not have nobody notice you. I've evolved to the point where I do appreciate a quiet motorcycle. And I have bikes that are a lot louder. And when you're quiet, you always feel like you can just get away with a little more. Anyway, it was an interesting test with the GoPro. Very interesting. Now with the SJ Cam, there is a big difference with the remote mic, but not the GoPro. But either way, I do like to test everything and try to get the best result I can. And on a naked bike, there's always extra wind noise. The bikes I have with windshields, you can kind of mute some of that, but on a naked bike, not really. And that's one of the things about this bike I like. You are really in touch with nature when you're riding this bike. You know you're riding a motorcycle. You can hear every sound. And from the driver's point of view, this has a wonderful sound in real life. So this turned out to be kind of an interesting educational day. I know other people that shoot a lot of video and have the same issues I have. Now on a bike with a louder exhaust, it mutes away all that extra mechanical noise. But in a way, it's nice to hear that you hear the mechanics of the bike. I know I'd never be happy with an electric motorcycle, no matter how good it was. The sound of a motorcycle is part of the experience. It's a big part, too. And it all comes out of that exhaust pipe. So this was a beautiful day for testing, nice and cool, brisk in the morning. It was brisk when I got home. I always prefer to ride with full gear on anyway, leathers preferably. Getting home, it wasn't a lot warmer than when I left. I'm surprised. But anyway, we're entering that time of the year that I look forward to. The fall season, full leathers, full gear, and falling leaves. It's coming. Oh, we're back, and it was a beautiful day. Chilly, and I think we got some good footage from the jacket mount that we made. Well, we're going to find out very soon. Now, one of the things that's funny about this bike, it's an unusual bike in the fact that it's a naked bike, and most of my other bikes have fairings and windshields and all kinds of other stuff. And I often think, you know, beauty, of course, is always in the eye of the beholder, but to be honest, the beauty of this bike is growing on me. I have to admit. It's an unusual thing, and in the beginning I was thinking, and the more I ride it, and the performance of the bike, the comfort more than anything, I really feel like I've made a really good choice here when I picked this out. So another really nice fall day. We've taken full advantage of it. I'm really looking forward to it. I don't know, you never know till you test one of these mounts if they're going to work. The camera seems to have worked out. I did a test with the remote mic to see if it plugs into this camera and works. I'll know by the end of this video, or I won't have any sound on the footage, one or the other. Anyway, I hope you did enjoy the video, and I hope you are just as appreciative of our healthcare workers as I am. Thank you guys for taking care of my family and actually for everybody. What a job it's been, this coronavirus, but hopefully we're coming up on the end of it. Boy, I hope. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. I enjoy making them. Hope you enjoy sharing them and watching them. I don't find a lot of stuff on TV really entertaining except YouTube, so maybe you do. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hey, and I hope we'll see you tomorrow. We try to post every day.